Is Northern Ireland forgetting its past? On the face of it, it sounds like an absurd proposition. How could we forget our past when there are so many reminders of it? It's literally painted on our walls, and events take place each year that commemorate our past, and it lives on every day through our politics. Yet, as different versions of the past compete with one another in Northern Ireland, one disturbing and distorted view of Northern Ireland history shouts louder than any other. That is the warped interpretation of the past that is advanced by Sinn Féin. The way Sinn Féin talk about the past in Northern Ireland is not only offensive, but deeply divisive and blatantly untrue. They engage in a very deliberate, calculated and concerted effort to rewrite history in Northern Ireland. Why? Well, because they have to. They have to in order to deflect from and or justify the wicked actions of the terrorist organisation that they are associated with, the Provisional IRA. During the Northern Ireland conflict, over 3,500 people were killed. Over 50,000 were injured. The Provisional IRA killed more people and created more casualties than any other combatant organisation during the conflict. Why? What was all the death and destruction for? Well, according to the likes of Sinn Féin, it was in the name of equality, a pursuit for human and civil rights. But the Provisional IRA committed more human rights abuses than any other group in Europe since the Nazis. They denied people the right to fair trial when they organised back alley kangaroo courts and appointed themselves as judge, jury and executioner. They denied people the right to work when they intercepted a bus containing Protestant workers and shot 10 of them dead. They denied people the right to leisure when they planted and exploded bombs at hotels, local businesses and public spaces. They denied people the right to religion and nationality when they killed people because they were a Protestant or because they were British. They discriminated against the LGBT community when they bullied and intimidated and allegedly kneecapped people for being gay. The Provisional IRA was rife with physical and sexual abuse, often aimed toward women and children. They tortured and targeted people. They kidnapped and enslaved people. They murdered and maimed people. And in so doing, they denied people the most important right of all, the right to life, when they sustained a 30-year killing spree that took the lives of over 1,700 innocent men, women and children. So I ask again, why? If it wasn't for human rights, what was it for? Some would argue that it was to protect the Catholic community from an oppressive British state, but that doesn't add up either, because the Provisional IRA killed more Catholics than any other combatant organisation during the conflict. They killed more Catholics than, say, the UVF or the British Army, for example. If you were a Catholic living during the Northern Ireland conflict, you were more at risk from the Provisional IRA than any other group. So why? Why all the suffering? Why sustain an insurgency? The ambition of Sinn Féin's Provisional IRA was to bomb Northern Ireland out of existence. They believed that if they planted enough bombs, killed enough people, created enough chaos, that they could bring Northern Ireland to its knees and break the will of Northern Ireland citizens and that of the British government as well, so that they would then surrender Northern Ireland into a larger nationalist state. And by doing this, Sinn Féin's provisional IRA sought to deny Northern Ireland's people another human right, the right to democracy. They believed they could circumvent the will of Northern Ireland citizens by achieving their political objectives of a united Ireland by force. Now, in the year 2022, nearly 25 years into our peace process, Sinn Féin parade themselves in an incredible act of hypocrisy as the ambassadors of human rights, wholly ignorant of the atrocities that the provisional IRA committed. The truth of our past is being distorted. It's being lost and forgotten because of a relentless campaign, not just to justify and glorify the actions of the provisional IRA, but at the same time Sinn Féin demonise the actions of everybody else. For the sake of our society, for the sake of our next generation, for the sake of our historical understanding, it's incumbent upon us all to dig a little bit deeper, to hold people accountable, and to challenge Sinn Féin's efforts of historical revisionism.